Welcome back to the weekend with Anthony Opperman. You know, sometimes you get presented with opportunities and you just take advantage of it. You just jump right in. You don't question it. You just do it. That kind of relevant to me because I was presented an opportunity to be the announcer for Mother's State Roller Derby in their upcoming bout tomorrow against Washington, D.C. And I'm going to be honest, don't know a lot about roller derby, so I'm going to need a crash course this morning. And here to help me do that, a couple of members of the Mother's State team. It is a team, right, ladies?
Yes,
or
a
squad,
team.
Or
yes.
We have Casey and AJ, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me here on the weekend. First and foremost, I'm going to need a crash course. Take me through kind of the rules, or at least just the basic premise of roller derby. Casey, how about you kind of walk us through that?
Okay, well, when you start off a game of roller derby, we actually call them bouts. You have two teams, and each team has two jammers on the track behind a line that is, if you're looking at the track and you're standing kind of in the middle, to your left, if you're standing on the side where the lines are, to the left, like behind everyone else, there's a line where there's two jammers. Then there's a line in front of them where all the blockers stand, and that's called the pivot line. And you have 4 blockers from each team. And they call it the pivot line because there's 2 positions on each team, which are essentially blockers, but they're called the pivots. And they're kind of like the sort of, as AJ put it the other day, blocker captains. They kind of tell everyone what to do and kind of set the pace of the pack, which is what we consider the group of blockers. So that's how everyone lines up on the track to start. Basically, the actual game is the 2 people in the back, the jammers. They're the people that score all the points. So in order to score all the points, they have to get through all the blockers one time, break through the pack, and then come around the track, and then every blocker they pass, they score points.
And AJ, how long do these bouts last?
Well, each bout is to consist of 2 30-minute halves. To kind of put it in some sports terms that a lot of people could relate to, we play with sort of innings. We call them jams, and those are 2 minutes apiece at the maximum. So you figure, you can get a whole bunch of jams in each half. And those jammers become really important also because if you're that first jammer to get through the pack, then you pretty much have the authority to stop the jam at any time. So that's why I say 2 minutes max if the lead jammer wants to stop the jam a little bit early to avoid the other team getting points, then they can do that as well.
And joined by Casey and AJ from Mother's State Roller Derby. Big bout coming up this Sunday against Washington, D.C. Casey, what should they watch for when they're watching roller derby? I mean, obviously, I guess you got, 10 people on the track at the same time, all skating counterclockwise. Where should people keep their eyes on it, and who should they watch for?
Well, an easy way to know what's going on is, which I forgot to mention earlier, is that the jammers wear a star on their helmet. They actually wear a helmet cover that has a star on it. So if you want to watch where the points are, and you watch the people who are scoring all the points, keep an eye on those jammers with the stars. I would say keep an eye on, just keep an eye on the pack. And it really depends on where the jammers are. And, you could be watching one jammer doing something or going around the track while the other jammer's in the pack scoring points. It changes throughout. But I would say keep an eye on the pack, keep an eye on the jammers.
Yeah, and it gets pretty fun. I mean, the jammers can do some pretty tricky things sometimes. They're bouncing around. Sometimes they throw in a little spin or something. And then it's also, everybody loves to see those big hits. I mean, we don't like to take them, but you love to see it. You get to see some players just sliding right across the floor. And if you get a seat right there up on the edge, we call them the suicide seats. You gotta really pay attention so that you don't get clobbered by one of the girls on either team.
AJ, what's the strategy that's involved in this? Like when you guys are as a group of blockers in the pack, what is the lead blocker kind of telling everybody else to do in order to prevent this jammer from coming around and getting around? Because obviously everybody's moving, and because the blockers, as I've kind of seen in YouTube videos, are up at front, it seems like maybe you don't know exactly when somebody's coming up behind you. I know you can skate backward, but obviously that's not the easiest thing in the world to do either, especially as a group. So how do you defense that?
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. One of the really cool things about roller derby is that you're constantly playing both offense and defense. I mean, there's really no such thing as a defender, and I come from a lacrosse background, so an attacker, as we like to call them. But I think if Coach Mike was sitting in here with us, he would say it's about communication and it's about pack control.
Yep.
So, I mean, it really takes, this is where the teamwork really comes in. I mean, we need to constantly be talking to each other to let each other know where those jammers are, who's coming up. We'll be yelling out, switch to offense or switch to defense. You'll hear us scream sit all the time, which just basically means to slow down. Because one of the big things is that we're constantly gauging our speed. If we're on the offense, then we want to be moving quickly to kind of stay away from the jammer on the other team that's coming up. But if we're on defense, we want to try to slow that pack down so our jammer can get through as quickly as possible. So it's just a really cool dynamic as you're always trying to, swap back and forth and gauge your speed up, slow down, and just a lot of talking to each other and keeping your head on the swivel.
Yes.
Everybody knows that
exactly.
from if they've ever played any sport. Keep that head on the swivel.
Joined by Casey and AJ from Mother State Roller Derby. Casey, how long have you guys been together?
Mother State started in 2010, so we're in our second, third year actually, but we've been together for a little over 2 years.
Now, how did that all come about? Were you one of the founding members? Did I understand that correctly?
Yes. I actually have been skating for about 5 years now. And so some of us had previously skated for another league, and then we just decided to kind of do our own thing back in 2010, and started in January of 2010, and we've been going strong ever since.
And AJ, where is like the home for the bouts at? Like home court, home rink?
Home rink? Yeah, sure, home rink. We play out at the Skateland on Hull Street, Skateland of Richmond. And we're there practicing 3 nights a week. I think the rink's been around since like 1964, so it's kind of a Richmond classic, and you definitely get a little bit of a retro feel walking right in through those doors. That's kind of one of the things that makes it so fun bouting there, is you kind of feel like you're back in the heyday of roller derby. In what was that, the 70s?
Yeah.
So it's a really fun atmosphere to skate in.
Hey, Casey, tell me about everybody in the league. I mean, you guys, obviously, kind of looking at the schedule, you guys play different teams from all over the East Coast, it seems.
We do. This year, we actually have a pretty full home schedule, which last year we did a lot of traveling. We only had 2 home bouts last year, I think, out of 9 or 10. We went as far as Louisville, Kentucky. So this year we've got it's kind of even, about 50% home bouts, 50% away. But I think the furthest we're going this year is
maybe Columbia, South Carolina.
Either that or Johnson City, Tennessee.
Yeah,
I mean, Columbia's further, but
yeah. I mean, we're staying a little bit closer to the East Coast this year. We're going to be in West Virginia. We're going to be in South Carolina.
How do you guys travel? Is it like one big carpool, or do you rent a van, or?
We're really fortunate in that one of the girls on our team, her husband's in a van. So they've got a big van. It's the band van and it's the team van. So that's pretty cool. In the past, we've also rented vans, and we try to jam everybody in one vehicle if we can. It's great for some team bonding time when you're in close quarters for so many hours. But we can talk strategy or just sleep.
In Casey and AJ from Mother State Roller Derby, first bout of 2012 coming up tomorrow night at Skateland of Richmond. Casey, where can people find out more information about Mother State and your upcoming bouts and tickets and everything like that?
Well, we are definitely on Facebook, Mother State Roller Derby, and we also have a website, motherstaterollerderby.com. Our tickets are on sale on brownpapertickets.com, and you can also get them at Elwood Thompson's in town and Plan 9 Music. or from any of your favorite Mother State roller derby skaters.
And how many of you guys are on the team?
I think we've got 8 girls that are going to be on the roster
got 8 on
for
the roster.
Sunday. We were really excited. We've got a couple of new girls coming out. So last night we had 10 of us at practice. It's always fun to get some new faces in the crowd. So that's another thing. We're always recruiting.
Yes,
we like athletes. We like women who can work hard and break a serious sweat.
Yeah, it seems like it's a little bit of a workout, huh? I mean, this isn't just, especially the practices. Looks like they're pretty intense. I mean, it's a lot of skating.
Yeah.
60 minutes. That's a lot of skating. I mean, I know there's some breaks in between, but overall, that's a pretty good while to skate around in a circle.
Yeah, we do a lot of endurance training. As I say, all of us are really athletes since we were kids, so we love the whole team atmosphere and getting a good workout in. We do a lot of off-skate training, too, so, you catch us doing some box jumps, some wall sits, lots of push-ups.
Yes.
I was going to say, there are definitely some days where our arms are hurting even more than our legs the day after practice. It's a really great workout, and it's amazing how your body just kind of adjusts to this whole skating thing. I mean, and it helps all around, too. My half marathon time was much improved this year, and I think it was a result of all that skating.
What's the best part about it? I mean, just in terms of the atmosphere and especially from a fan's perspective, like what's the most exciting part of coming out to see a roller derby bout?
I think if you like sports, it's something that's just different. It's got all that excitement, that you get at any sports outing. It's really interactive with the fans. I mean, obviously you can be sitting right there on the rink. And just, something a little bit different. There aren't too many sports where you see girls hitting each other. So I think a lot of people think that's a lot of fun. Just kind of learning something a little bit different.
Speaking of, Casey, are there any no-nos in terms of hitting each other out on the rink? Yes,
there are. We do. Actually, we can get out on penalties and get sent to the box. There's 2 different kinds of penalties. There's minor penalties and major penalties. If you get 4 minors, you have to go to the box. If you get a major, you go immediately to the box. But that's stuff like, throwing elbows, no clotheslining, no pushing people down from behind, no blocking in the opposite direction, which is like if you turn around and skate the other way and hit someone and knock them down.
Yeah.
What other ones can you think of? Cutting the track.
Yeah,
that's an easy one to make.
Yeah. Basically, we definitely tend to focus more on kind of positional blocking than clobbering people, but there's some others that have a little bit of a different philosophy. So I was going to say, you see a lot of the basic things that are legal. You'll see shoulder checks and you'll see hip checks. Those are kind of the big things. And then just a lot of getting your body in front of the other players to get in their way.
What about this DC squad on Sunday night? What's the scouting report on them?
It'll be really interesting. We actually, DC is a pretty big league, so we're playing the Demon Cats, which is one of 4 teams. Is that right? We actually scrimmaged against them last summer. We did come out on top in that scrimmage, but we lost a couple of veteran skaters, and they've got some different girls in their squad now. So, it's really anybody's game.
Yep.
I think we're all looking forward to it. We've been working hard, and we hope for a repeat. but we'll see how it goes.
Are they nasty? Do they play dirty?
It was pretty clean when we scrimmaged.
Clean team, which is good.
We really liked playing with them. I did end up with a bloody nose though.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I think that actually came from one of my own teammates. A flailing arm.
Definitely something to look forward to Sunday night. Again, ladies, one last time, where can people get tickets and more information?
MotherStateRollerDerby.com. Check us out on Facebook, and then tickets on brown paper tickets at Elwood's or at Plan 9 Music.
Or at the door even, actually.
Yeah, we'll be selling them at the door. We'll also be selling season passes. So that's the best deal in town.
Casey, AJ, Mother State Roller Derby. Thank you, ladies, so much. I'm looking forward to it Sunday. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think I feel a little bit more informed now that we've had this conversation. So don't worry, I'll be working on those lineups and intros.
Yeah, we're excited.
Thank you.
The Weekend with Anthony Opperman continues next on Sports Radio 910.